Well, everyone, it's time to get our hands to work. Because this setup is not gonna last very long because it only has 1,000 buckets left of oil. So I went ahead and made myself an oil rig, and over in the live stream we located 3 oil spots that I now have pump checks on, but of course they still need to be powered. That's where the oil rig comes in. As you can probably see, it's a very big area, and of course we already have visitors. And the main goal at the moment is to get those pump jacks working. I have a little bit of resources that I've been gathering up. This is not even enough or close to what we're gonna need, but they should still be helpful for what we have to do over here. And the first step is actually getting a hose pulley to give us lava. But that means we have to make a lava pool, well, in the nether, right? Yeah, so we have to make a nether portal. And not only that, we probably need something like a train to go to the nether and grab us that lava. And of course, it's going to be needing fuel tanks. And it's going to need to come back here and then power a boiler. So yeah, we have lots of work to do. There we go. We have a lava train right here with a little conductor. So let's first off start with sending him into the nether, and hopefully everything works as planned. Now it's gonna come out the other side. We have a station ready, but we don't actually have lava being set up. I just wanted to see. Yes, so that is about perfect. But now for some reason you cannot find the other station. Wait, what? Now I what? Wait, it's probably gonna bug out again. Let's test it, because I just redid the schedule and it was fine. Okay, he's moving there. And is he gonna forget now? Are you? No. Okay, so he was just being dumb, as everything I do. Which means now we just need to get lava here, and we will have lava all the way back in the oil rig. And there the hose pulley goes. Hopefully that's an infinite pool of lava there. Yes, it is a bottomless supply of lava. And now we have lava in our train. Now we have everything hooked up. We have the lava train going back and forth. We have a hose pulley back there getting us some water for the boiler, and the boiler is now pumping. Now, I believe we only need this boiler, like this single setup, so we have some backup stress units that we can use so that we can then just expand the rest, because we have pump jacks, don't forget, which means we're gonna get oil, and with oil comes, well, different ways of making power. Now, you guys know me, whenever I see a mod that will probably help me and look cool, I just add it into the pack. And I found a couple of them that are really handy. You see, right now we're going to be needing a bunch of resources to actually handle whatever we're producing here. So we need to get our hands in those resources. Now, what did I do? Well, I added 2 very interesting mods. Now, the first one being create trading floor, and if you guys, well, can't tell by the name, this is going to allow us to have villager trading with the create mod. This is very good, very helpful. We're definitely gonna make a bunch of items out of this. Now, and the other one is create more features. This adds a bunch of create related villagers, which, well, if we put the 2 mods together, well, we can get some pretty overpowered trades, which means we can automate a bunch of different create resources with both of these mods. And some of them, like this guy, for example, this guy takes rails, regular rails, and gives me emeralds. That's a very good trade. But even better is another one. Let's see if I can find him real quick. I believe it's this one. This one trades pretty much any resource that you have from the create mod. It just turns them into emeralds. So if you're automating already some resources, we can just put it together and use and abuse this guy get bunch of emeralds. Now, of course, the best one I should say is this one that takes mechanical belts and gives you emeralds, because you can very easily automate mechanical belts. Oh, and let us not forget that this one actually gives you blocks of diamonds, so we have an infinite source of diamonds. But right now, I'm gonna start with a simple guy. And yes, we're gonna start with the pipe guy, this little dude, because we're in dire need of some piping resources. As you guys can see, it gives you drains, it gives you smart pipes, it gives you steam engines, it gives you pumps, it gives you just regular pipes as well. But the fluid tanks are the ones that I'm mostly after. Yeah, now we can actually start taking a look at how we can trade with him. Like, for example, I want to take a look at this guy. We're going to trade copper sheets to get emeralds with him, but it takes 2 water buckets. Does he take the iron from the bucket? Oh, okay, he does. Okay, if it didn't, that would be probably the best trade. But nevertheless, we can just trade with him for copper sheets, and we can make tons of copper sheets over here. Now for the other trading, for example, we have this. We have the trading depot. Now, as you can see, I already hooked up a trade output filter for an emerald, and behind this we have our Fletcher, which means that if we just give this thing a bunch of sticks, it will trade it for emeralds. Now, don't worry if they don't start trading. They technically only start trading when it's working hours, and right now the sun is setting, so it's past their trading time, so he's not going to be trading. But as soon as it gets, like, I think it's around 10,000 ticks or something, I don't know exactly how Minecraft time works, he will start trading. As you can see, it's going to give us some emeralds, and I don't believe that he has a limit of trading while he's doing that cycle. It's just a matter of how many items you can give him in his working hours. And I brought the dude all the way to our roof of all the villagers that are waiting to be used somewhere at the moment, and we can go ahead and trade with him for some more fluid tanks. And take a look at that, all of our punk jacks are now working. Even have an enderman on them, like he's doing something, but he's not. And I'm in the process of just getting some pillars down to make it just make it look like it's actually supported. Like that doesn't look good, but that area looks good. You can see that pillar goes all the way down, comes all the way here, and it's now going to 3 of these tanks. Now they're all completely filled up, which is pretty good. Comes from underneath here, and well, let me take that on. Now we have to process it, so I'm taking a pipe all the way there, which is basically taking in lava and also taking our create power to fuel those pumps, because if we go all the way up here, we need to process the oil in a distillation tower. Now this distillation tower needs a distillation controller, 6 distillation outputs, and some pipes to connect them all together, and a steel fluid tank. So this is the basic setup. Then you need some blaze burners at the bottom, and they are now getting filled up with the lava that we're bringing in from the nether. Which brings us to the next step. The next step is actually bringing in the oil. It's going to come up on the back here, and then it will be producing a lot of items. Or I should say liquids, fluids, gases. It's complicated. But all I really need to do is grab this cogwheel, place it there, and we go all the way here. This guy should be working. Yep, we can see it's going in, it's getting filled up with crude oil, and is he not burning? Hello? You're not actually working at the moment? What's going on? Oh, I see what I did wrong. It's going into the tank, but it's actually meant to go into the controller, not the tank. Okay, that means I just need to redirect this a little bit, so it's not gonna be a big deal. There we go. Diesel, heavy oil, kerosene, naphtha, gasoline, and LPG. We now have all of those, well, let's call them components. Which means, well, I probably need a tank for all of them. Or just burn them. But I think I'm gonna go with a tank for every single one of them. So if we have 6 outputs, we're gonna be needing 6 tanks. So I guess I'm just gonna start getting this laid out and see what we can do with each of the components, and then we'll go from there, because we need to do something with all of them. And if we're not doing, well, anything with them, we need to make a burn stack. What's it called? A flare stack. Yeah, we need to do one of these because it's gonna be burning whatever we're not using. So it means that we can still be produce anything that we're still using, if that makes sense. Oh, and this area right here in the middle, it's going to be for an elevator that's going to take us all the way down, all the way here, all the way up there, and maybe to a 3rd floor if we need one. And voila! We have a 6 tank setup. They're all getting filled up. Now we're going to have more than some stuff, but it's okay. We can go from here now. And I put some flare stacks just to make sure everything keeps on running smoothly. And to make sure that we still, we can fill every single one of these tanks, even though we have some of them completely filled up. For example, the heavy oil. Now, it means that that one should also be filled up, and we need to move on to the next step, and that is to actually turn this into something productive. Now, the first thing we gotta get our hands on is possibly some plastic, for what I've been seeing. And the plastic is made of just pressing down liquid plastic, which is made out of just mixing propylene or ethylene. We have ethylene, I think. Nope, never mind. We have naphtha, or naphtha, I think that's what it's called. And that's the one that we need to turn into propylene and ethylene. These two will give us the plastic. And applying the same principle, we make a distillation tower with 2 outputs, and we got propylene and ethylene. Now we just need to whisk them up and then press them down, and we should be getting on plastic. Hey, would you look at that? We got plastic. So we're outputting ethylene, propylene, they're getting mixed up. We have this item filter here, which should, I don't know why that was it. Oh, wait a second. This guy is breaking. Oh, I know why it's breaking. Because even though we have a recipe filter, this is not properly outputting for some reason. And we're not also inputting anything into there. So we're not producing. Okay. I see where this is going. Gonna be a little bit complicated than what I thought. Because, yep, pipes are weird. Okay, now it's working. We have a smart fluid pipe only extracting the plastic, and then this guy is just pressing on down tons and tons of plastic, which is amazing. Because with this, we can make paper whenever we want to. We can make copper cables, which is very, very necessary. We can make these resistors and these capacitors as well, because we're going to be using both of them. So we can also make synthetic string for a bunch of recipes. And of course, there's a lot of other things that we can do with it. Like we can press it down, make synthetic leather, which basically allows us to have free leather for any recipe that we might need. So plastic is a very useful item. Oh yeah, and the pressing noise, yeah, that's gonna get annoying. So we got the muffler mod in here. So mechanical press. Oh my god, that's so much better. So much better. This one is manageable, I'd say. Now the belts one I actually don't really like because it's way too much. It's like cogwheels. It's not the cogwheels. So which one is that one? Wait, I don't have a problem with the mixing one. Not the funnel flaps, not the extinguish. Train, no. Create, block, iron door, close. Contraption? No, that's not it. Not the bucket, not the noise, the ore conveyor. No, that's not. that one either. Bro, which one is it? I'm just gonna mute everything. At this point, we might as well just mute everything, and then we're gonna find it out. Let's see, create. There's gotta be one of these, right? Bruh. It's not. Oh, wait. I'm being dumb. I know this noise. This is not any create noise. This is a minecart noise. Yeah. Ah. My ears are thanking me right now. That's much better. Yeah, that's much better. Like, we can turn this one off as well if it bothers us at the moment. We're fine. So let's start making some things. I made some capacitors and resistors with plastic, and we're gonna make an electric casing, which then we're gonna be turning into a polarizer. Now the polarizer makes magnetic ingots out of steel. So basically if you put steel into here, we're gonna get the magnetic ingot. Pretty cool, pretty helpful. Now the thing about this magnetic ingot is that we need it if you want to make, for example, these electric motors, which has a very cool recipe, and it's kind of better than the creates, crafts, and additions. So we're probably going to be using this one, and we can even automate it in like this if you want to, or we can also make these generators as well. But one of the things that I'm looking after is these stators. Yes, we need to make these stators. We need to make a bunch of these because we need at least 8. Yes, we need a minimum of 8 of these. Then put around a rotor. Now this rotor, if we have the ponder, yes we do, is the thing that we're going to be using to generate electricity. You can see we can put the connectors around it, we give it power, it's going to start rotating, it will be producing electric energy. You can then just cable it out into somewhere. So now I have my hands on the polarizer, but as you can see, if we connect it to our power at the moment, it says insufficient voltage. Now that's because we need the help of a converter. It's gonna add voltage to what the power that we have over here. So if we put this here, as you can see, this now has a lot of power. Now we could connect it like directly. I think I could like do this, but it doesn't work if you do it like that. So let's try out with a cable. Do it like that. That doesn't work because it has an output at the top. So we're gonna use these cable connectors here, and we have to break this one. The cable connector here. Use the copper cables, connect them, and now you can see it says idle. So I already made one before, which means, do you take a stack? No, you don't take a stack. You need one at a time. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I think I found the weird bug, and as I'm trying to make more of these ingots, you see, I came up with a stack of steel ingots, and I only have 2 magnetic ingots. Well, that's because they kind of vanish. Yeah, for some reason, whenever I put it there, it does the first one, but then this recipe kind of disappears, and it destroys the ingots. So I've been trying to like hopper it in and stuff like that, but it doesn't seem to actually work like that. So I believe that the only other option would be just use a deployer. Deployer right clicks the ingot there, and then the ingot will get pushed out from a brass funnel. We can test that out if we do that, but that's filter, and you can see that the first one should actually do correctly, but then the recipe kind of gets, well, weird. And yes, you can see it pops back out, and well, currently the recipe is still there, so maybe it's still gonna work. I really hope it does. If it does, then we can automate it, because but if it doesn't, then I'm gonna be very mad. Okay, so it is actually working at the moment. I believe it's when I right click to grab the magnetic ingot out of there. So that kind of breaks the recipe for some reason. It's very, very weird. But well, I'm not going to complain that this is working right now. So yeah, can probably pull this setup back into the what should I say, the oil rig. Yeah, so grab all of the necessary items out of here. And we're gonna take this back to the oil rig. The recipe is still here. That's great. And then we can probably do an automated setup with a deployer. And now we have this process a little bit automated, just a little bit, just so we have this setup going. Now it does require 2 of these generators because it's consuming a little bit more than 252. I would love to know how much this is consuming per tick, but we just don't know. And it seems to me right now, at least, that these 2 are able to handle this. Now it does appear to still be losing power though. Huh, that's kind of weird, but we have 4, which means, or 5 now, which means we can do more of them. I just put them in here in a line. That just means we gotta get better electrical, basically. But that's why we have this setup, so we can use the magnetic ingots to make ourselves stators. So it's time to start making ourselves some engines, and these guys need to be very, very powerful. They're also very, very tricky to put to work, but hopefully I can put together like 8. I'm thinking 8 is a good number. Put 8 of them working all at the same time, and hopefully we can make a lot of electricity out of that. If not, well, I tried. You see, the base way of putting together these diesel engines, this one in particular, you gotta give it the diesel, you gotta give it an air intake, and you have to also give it an exhaust pipe. So that's basically 3 of its faces being used at one given moment. But we can also upgrade it by putting it an extension at the back. And this basically allows us to give it lubrication oil and a radiator fluid, so a cooling fluid. So this turns it from a 3 input/output to 5 inputs/output. So it's actually 4 inputs and 1 output, and of course it's the face that's actually producing the power as well. So we have to be very, very careful, I should say, with how we're making this, because I want to put 8 of them together and create like a super motor giving us super stress units. Now, if you guys know what I can do with kerosene, let me know, because at the moment I don't see a recipe for it. Like, I can make buckets, that's it. So yeah, I don't know what I have to do with this. It's probably nothing. I don't know. Or maybe it can be used as a lubricant, and I am just trolling and I don't know. Let me know, because I have actually no clue. So something like this should be what we want, but of course we have to somehow manage all the inputs and outputs. And well, at first I thought, well, maybe different pipes don't connect, but well, they do. But fear not, because there's actually a solution. You see, we can encase pipes, right? And while they're encased, that means that these ones do not connect. Now, of course, if you look around, you see it will connect there, but it doesn't connect over there, which means we can create like single route tubes by just doing this. We can, for example, put the diesel coming out from the bottom, then for example the air intake, or the outtake I should say, that comes from there, we can put it over there as well. And right now there's no issues whatsoever. The problem is that when we need to start getting into these ones, because we still want to input lubricant oil and cooling oil, and also put the air intakes, you know, that's also very, very important. So we could just encase these ones, and by fully encasing them, actually the last one, don't forget to add that there, because if you don't have this one here, then you don't have that output right there. Like if you just leave it like this and you put the casing, yeah, that closes. So be careful with that. put a pipe, put an extra one, and then encase it. So now we have all of this encased. As you can see, this one is closed, so let's open it up as well. Just like this, and boom. And now we can do the same here. We can, let's put an extra one there so it doesn't connect. And just like that, go all the way here, put a casing there, put a casing. And even though if you go at the top, they seem connected, they are not, which is very, very good. Now we can have different types of inputs and outputs. And of course we have to do the same at the bottom here, because we're also going to be putting some extra ones here at the bottom, just like so. And we have to put one at the back. No, the back one, well, it doesn't really need to worry about anything because there's not anything connected to the ones at the back, but just in case we do it like this as well, so everything looks the same. And now we have 5 inputs / outputs for whatever we need. And hey, take a look at that. We have a motor going. Now I still need to see if a single one of these is enough to get rid of the carbon dioxide. I don't think it is. We probably need to put some more exhausts. Yeah, we probably need to handle the exhausts a little bit better. But we're still missing cooling. Yes, but so far we have, well, it's a variable amount. Yes, so let's try and fix the variable amount by giving more exhaust pipes. Yes, 5 of those do seem to be doing the trick right now. And we have 472,000. And let's just hope that the cooling oil gives us even more. And bringing the ethylene and getting a hose pulley to just go all the way down there and get us some water. One of the benefits of actually having an oil rig in the middle of the ocean. We are now having cooling fluid, which pumped up is giving us 503. We have 500,000 SU from this guy. And I just need to check. Yes, it seems that it's now on every single one of these. Yeah, 500,000 SU. This is crazy. And boy, oh boy, we have a lot to do here at the oil rig. Basically, we still have to find a use for the LPG and the gasoline that we're sitting on. And of course, we have to do something with this 500,000 SU. And we're going to be crafting a bunch of generators so we can turn this all into electricity. We also gonna have a bunch of accumulators, yes, and we're gonna use these guys to just store a lot of power. And I'm actually thinking right now, we probably want to drain those fluids out of here to any place that might need some diesel engines and stuff like that. And with that in mind, we have a couple of ideas already cooking up. And with the royal rig in view, it's the time. Yes, it's time for today's video, because yeah, doing this takes a lot of work and a lot of thinking, but we're getting somewhere. We need power, we're getting it. And that's all the time I'm gonna have for today, but as always, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you in the next one. Bye!